is Tuesday morning, about 10:45. I got a busy afternoon, so I wanted to come out here earlier and see if we could capture anybody. They are highly unlikely. I went live without notification. We may or may not get too many people in, but what I really want to do is see if we can see anybody out and about with their body routing routines that are going on here. I'm guessing I'm overlapping with a few of the bigger creators right now, so we might struggle to get an audience. If you are in here on the replay, please leave a comment for the algorithm. Leave a comment for me. One thing you'll notice is that I do respond to, I think I've responded to 100% of the comments. By that I mean I've acknowledged the comments existed. And then if there is a question, a lot of times I will answer that question for you there in the chat, or we'll come and talk about it the next day. But we're in the YouTube Live app, so I should have the ability to pinch zoom today. Howdy, Lady E. Howdy, Mama J. Texas. I have to imagine it's sweltering heat down there this time of year. And Houston, I imagine, is humid, humid, humid. Howdy, Ann, Catherine, Christine. Howdy, Shark Joy. I know that a lot of you were probably over in Natalie's chat. I just wanted to see if we could surprise our friends, the Scientologists. Yesterday, I did see some flyers at the bottom of this train station. So you've got the train station here, and there's a bus stop at the bottom of these stairs. So we'll see if, in order for there to have been a flyer here yesterday, then we know that the body routers are comfortable and confident enough to head out this direction. Nobody should be on lunch yet. So the org opened an hour ago. There probably are already publics on course. Coming down to Harrison Street. Just kind of scanning around with the eyes. Not seeing anything yet. Oh boy, nice sunny day again here today. If you were watching on Natalie's channel, you probably saw a lot of highlights from yesterday, right? We saw the folks smoking in the alley a couple of times, challenged them on whether or not they're really free. We saw that they will they'll pinch the cigarette to put it out so that they can save it. And then they'll put it back in the pocket and come out a little bit later. You can tell they get frustrated when I come down there to prevent them from smoking. Now, at the end of the day, I'm probably saving their lives, but I'm not stopping them from smoking. I'm just getting them to smoke less. I'm looking down the street, so the org is down here on this street, over here. I want to see if we can get there in time. If you are in live, please check your subscription, make sure you're seeing the subscription, and your notification bell. Again, if I do go live on Surprise, and today wasn't meant to be on Surprise, I just had an opportunity, and I knew I was going to have a pretty busy afternoon, so I wouldn't be able to be out here this afternoon. So we're out here late morning. We should be able to spend an hour before they go on lunch, right? So I've got from now until probably about 11:45. This is odd. I don't know what's going on here, but the street seems to be blocked off here. I don't know why the cones are across the street here. Here we've got LaSalle Street. That building is coming along very well. Like it's entirely closed in and weathered in. I think they're just putting finishing touches on it on the outside. And they've been building out the inside as they've moved upward. So the units on the lower grounds are probably lease ready, or I don't know if it's an apartment building or a condo building. Coming up on the alley. Okay, so this truck is going to be at Pat's Pizza, and it's going to be probably just a restaurant supply truck. And I can see all the way down there, but there's nobody outside of the Scientology building. Let's head over to the front doors. Make sure we can get the blinds closed. Remember, closing up, I see, they're doing, they're relining the streets here, so that's probably what the cones were down the street. I don't see anybody out on the sidewalk in front of the org right now. We'll be there quickly. Again, we saw nothing in the back alley. We should be able to get these blinds closed. And again, the reason we close the blinds is so that it looks uninviting to the neighbors, right? We don't want the neighbors to make this this bookstore look like it's open, right? And for anybody who doesn't know, the only goal of anybody in here is they're a salesman for the cult of Scientology, right? They're here to sell a book or sell a course. They are not here to make you feel better about yourself. Heading past the Dunkin', no Scientologists inside, at least no uniformed Scientologists inside. Again, guys that are kind of cleaning out the dorms as they roll over the dorms for the next semester here at Columbia College. Front doors open. Nobody really inside here. The front foyer is fine. Empty, right? So entirely empty all the way to the back. There is nobody in here that's looking at any of the flyers here. We've got an admin there. She's taking paper and stapling it together, right? So she's fixated on her job. Now, I can't tell. No, I thought she had headphones in, but it doesn't look like she does right now. But she'll come forward and close the blinds because the cult can't live with the blinds being open. As we look over here, you're not seeing anything over here that's going to be able to show you what's going on in the cafeteria. There's nobody in the cafeteria. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. But here, again, we're going to keep on watching and see if she realizes that we're out here. There is nobody in here. Howdy, Fuzzy. Now, one thing that I've done to them, right, is that since I've surprised them on time, they're probably not sure that they are unaware that I was coming. Oh, this is interesting. Well, she'll turn around and walk towards the desk eventually, and then she'll see me. And again, waving to her. We're definitely seeing that, right, she's got to get everything closed up here. She'll come down, she'll get this other one, right? And we'll see, she may or may not come out and pull in their propaganda here. Normally, that's not a tactic that she will take, right? We've got the blinds down. I'm gonna take a quick run through the neighborhood, see if we can find anybody out here. We've got the front shades closed. It's not a lot of foot traffic right now. Makes kind of sense, right? Even though it's a nice day out here, it is a weekday. Most people would be at work. So not a high probability of a lot of foot traffic, but we'll see if we can find them. So we are in Chicago at the Ideal Org. It is 650 South Clark Street. This opened up on March 3rd. The old organization was up in one of the neighborhoods called Lakeview. Lakeview was at 3011 North Lincoln Avenue. Howdy, MD Media. I'm in the YouTube app, so I'm going to miss some comments. When I get a chance to, I'll scroll back up. I found that when I scroll while I'm walking, I'm prone to making stupid mistakes like falling flat on my face. So I prefer not to do that. We're again going to take a little tour of the neighborhood, see if we can find anybody out here. There was nobody on the first floor. Now, again, if a public is coming in there, they're going upstairs. So the course rooms are upstairs. If there were public that came in at 9:30 when they first opened up, we wouldn't really be able to see them unless we're here watching them enter. We peeked down the back alley. We saw nobody in the back alley, right? It's a beautiful day out here today. We've got the Dearborn Station there. Heading over to Federal Street. I'll say that 2 weeks ago, Saturday was one of the most populated days that I ever saw here at the org. It has not been anywhere near as populated since that day. All right, we had big events. We had Lollapalooza, as well as the Air and Water Show the past couple of weekends. So there would have been huge opportunity for foot routing. I'm sorry, for body routing. We did not see too much of that. For the Air and Water Show, when I left for the day, I finally came across a body router. They tried to hand something off, and I was able to retrieve the flyer from the person that they'd handed off their flyer to. Is not a Class 12 org, so there is no Sea Org that's supposed to be here. Now, there are Sea Org people here, but they're on loan. They are probably coming either from California or from Florida. And it's because they didn't have enough people to staff this organization when it opened. They had a premonition that they would be able to recruit well enough. If you've seen Aaron recently, Aaron has inside information that there are no new starts for Scientology in Chicago. So now they've been open for what, 5 months here at their Ideal Org, and have zero to show for it. When I get up to the corner here, I'll scroll back a little bit, and I saw we had some wordy questions. I'll go ahead and look at those real quick. I think I will go over to State Street as well. Right. The org itself did not look busy. So my expectation is that if anybody is out body routing, they've already gotten out here. They probably have a morning tour and then an afternoon tour. All right, let me see if I can find some shade real quick. Yes. All right. Yeah, trolling Scientology, that there have been times where they've tried to intimidate us. They realized that it just wasn't going to work, so we never really have the intimidation factor in regards to leave me alone. Now, there are some Scientologists who will say, stop following me. They have called like if we're out wandering around and there's a police car nearby, they'll call the police over, and the police will tell them, yeah, tough luck, he can do whatever he wants to here. So don't worry about that. Yeah, and then the thing that I like about having the camera, and again, I also have a body camera, their ability to say that I'm intimidating is really thwarted because there's proof and evidence that that's not true. Yeah, MD Media, that's true, right? We do have to find where are the festivals that they're going to, where are the concentrations of people, whether it be a park, whether it be a museum, the tourist attractions, where are they trying to find people? Hey folks, thank you all for heading over. I see that Natalie might be rating us, appreciate that. We're gonna head over to State Street now. When we got to the org, we were able to close the windows fairly quickly. Now I will say this, that when they don't know I'm coming, it takes them a while. They're not monitoring the window. So the attendant that was at the reception desk, she got up and walked away from the desk, and it wasn't until she had to walk back towards the desk that she realized I was out there. Folks, if you are coming in, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Also, check your subscriptions. Every once in a while, YouTube's gonna unsubscribe you. Leave a like, we'll take it. But we were able to get the shades down. They did not close the front door. It was empty in the org. So I saw nobody in the cafeteria. Now remember, the past couple of weeks, like on the Saturday or on the Sunday, we're seeing a lot of people in there. And I also usually come at lunchtime. So they would have gone out, gotten food, come back. And sat in that cafeteria area. It did not look, well, there was nobody on the first floor of that org except for the person sitting at reception. And by the way, I think that we've lost Anastasia. So Anastasia hasn't been here for now over 2 months. She may have been recruited by the Joe Cicala. Sorry, I'm looking up and down State Street real quick. She may have been recruited by Joe Cicala to help out with the fundraising at Battle Creek. Battle Creek is an organization in Michigan which is trying to raise money to renovate their ideal org there. Kind of scooting through town here. Right now we're going past Jones College Prep. This is a magnet school for high school students. You would test into this. This is going to be a school that the graduates from here are well sought after from most colleges. It is a high school that you want to test into. You get certain advantages, right? The idea that the quality of the education here, again, I'll say CPS is supposed to have the same quality across the entire ecosystem. This is a Chicago public school. It just happens to be a magnet school, so you don't have to live in this area in order to go to the school. Hello, Auditing Scientology. If you were watching some of those clips over on Natalie's channel, just to kind of give you a little bit more backstory, right? As I was pushing the people in, when I say push, I'm saying figuratively. Granted, you'll never see me contacting a Scientologist. But because I'm an SP, I have total cause over MEST, which means that I could just think it and they'll go in. But you would see that I would approach them, they would snuff out their cigarette, and then they would put it in their pocket because they need to be able to pull that cigarette out later on to re-smoke, right? Howdy, Patrick, great to see you. It's a beautiful day here in Chicago. I'll take another run past the org real quick. We will most likely see that the shades are still down. Howdy, Jersey Jan. Howdy, Scientology up north. By the way, I did love right giving the Xenu story or the Wall of Fire. And I've done that here several times. Yesterday, I followed a public from the corner to the org, and I told the Xenu story, and then I usually end that with, I really apologize if I gave you pneumonia, right? Full well knowing that I didn't give them pneumonia, but their belief is, I could have. It is funny that it just seems so off the cuff that he would have come up with pneumonia is the curse that that will befall you if you learn the wall of fire before you're ready, or you've paid money to do so. This is Tato's Market, a very upscale bodega. You've got to come with a full wallet if you're going to head here, but they do have an awful lot of curated breads, soups, lunch meats. I did like, and Natalie noted it, right, that it's really hard to hold a straight face when you're telling people about the Xenu story and frozen popsicles and DC-8s or DC-10s, right? Oh, I do see a Scientologist on the corner here. So you can see there, right, we've got a Scientologist on the corner. Let's see if she's got anything. I don't know if she's got flyers or not. I think it's just her phone. This is not somebody who I have historically seen. This is not somebody who I have historically seen giving out flyers. So she's probably just on break. Yeah, trolling Scientology, so one thing that, I understand what you're saying there. One is, it also makes it a little bit more challenging sometimes for you guys. Oh, here's two more Scientologists. Right, so, oh, and yet another one. So, they definitely are letting everybody out. Let's see what these folks are up to. So she's heading west, which is a rare way to go. They've headed down. There's a coffee store, so the two other ladies have headed into the coffee store down there. This one looks like she might be just taking a walk. Sorry, but as I was saying, that they'll go behind. So there's a set of air conditioners back there, and a privacy wall that keeps the sound away for those air conditioners, and that's just a place where she'll go for her quiet time. I'm going to say that I don't want to go and disrupt her quiet time. I do know that she's going to smoke. If they're smoking out in back of the org, then I have zero issue confronting them. But if they've gone off campus, and I didn't have a chance to challenge them or to talk with them, I don't really want to chase them into their privacy space. Oh, I was talking about delaying, right? None of the people in this building, unless they're part of OSA, now there are OSA contingents, but I would say that I don't know if they're always on staff when we come here. So we've got another Scientologist coming down the street, getting her headphones in so that she can claim that or look like she's on the phone. Anything positive to share about Scientology? One of the things that's really distressing to me is that, right, she's a young woman, a lot of life ahead of her, and she's going to be aligned to this organization for the vast majority of her young life unless she wakes up, right? Unless somebody can get a hold of her and snap her out of the idea that she's in a false religion. Folks, if you're joining from the raid, please consider subscribing. Historically on my channel, we are going to be out here in front of the org a little over half the time. We also do some studio work, right? We'll either replay these, because I do know that, right, hey, I just walked around the block, and we did confront some Scientologists when we were on this side of the block, but nothing on the other side of the block. So in order to make the views or the videos a little bit more appealing, I will do a speed run, and we'll do more commentary on it in this space. Yeah, Scientology up north, right? You'll get sick and die. So one of the reasons that I'll raise the camera, not one of, it is the reason that I raise the camera. If there is just a civilian walking by, I have no need to keep them on camera, right? So more often than not, when you see me looking up, right, whether it's the Scientology over here or whether or not it's up above the door, it's mostly that I'm just trying to save the dignity of the people that are walking through the neighborhood. Now, I think that the people that we saw going south were just going to get their coffee, right? So I assume that, I know that they get lunch, but I assume that they also get maybe a 15-minute break in the morning and a 15-minute break in the afternoon. Oh, you know what? There are probably people out back right now smoking as well, if it is break time. Now, what throws me a little bit is, where were these people when I came by to close the blinds, right? So is it the executive offices are all upstairs? Were they all on class, right? Now, these are staff members, highly unlikely they're paying for any kind of class. They might be doing like twin auditing, right? So they're pairing up with one of their peers and they're auditing one another to try to go up the bridge, potentially, or to go up through the auditing side of the bridge. They have to be pre-clear in order to do any real studying here, right? That this is not an organization where you can take the operating Thetan level courses. Howdy, AMM. And yes, I will mute when we've got the police or the fire trucks coming by. Let's peek down the alley and see if we've got the smokers out. I have pretty good vision down there, and there is nobody smoking. Now, there is a car with blinkers on, and it's about where Scientology is at. Usually I'm using, they're building a building just behind the Scientology building, and there is a blue construction barrier, membrane, that usually is my distance identifier to let me know where Scientology's doors are. So yeah, as I come further down here, he's further south, so he's one or two doors south of Scientology. And when I say he, the car. Yesterday, you would have seen that I came upon the guy who is throwing out the trash. But when he was confronted by an SP, he realized he couldn't stay there. So rather than finish his job, he couldn't close the trash can in time. He couldn't put the lock on. He wandered back inside with the lock. And he had to stay in there until the coast was clear, right? And by coast is clear, when the SP was no longer in their space. So this is one of the back doors. This one always locks. But what they'll do is they'll jimmy it open when they come out for smoking. And on this side, this is locked, so they can't jimmy it open. They have to knock on it, and then somebody from the inside is going to have to open the door for them. I don't see the chain on top, so the chain is going to be hanging. It's not going to be holding the... So, right, so there is nothing holding the chain here. Nothing really in here, so that is going to be lunchroom trash. I don't know what's in the dark trash room. You can see in the corner there, you can see remnants of shredding. So if I look in there, like I said, there's a clear plastic bag, and that clear plastic bag was food trash, right? So plastic cartons, food wrappers, styrofoam in that space. You saw evidence of shredding because there was shredded material in the back corner that we saw. It is not locked right now, so they must feel that there's nothing that warrants securing in that space. Yes, I don't really have a desire to stick my hand in their muck. Now, when Trashy had done it, they were in clear plastic bags, and you could see what it was that it was paperwork, so you knew whether or not it was safe to stick your hand in something. Now again, I'm taking a gamble here. Oh, by the way, it's also possible that the person lives in here. So this is an apartment complex, but more often than not, what they do is you see the air conditioners back here. That's really what they're trying. They'll hide behind that just to give themselves some privacy and get away from the church for a while. Yeah, we're not seeing anything else there. Howdy, Wayne. I'm going through and looking through here. Yeah, correct. Janelle H, anything that's in a trash can in Chicago is fair game. You've given up the right to it once you put it in the trash can. Now, it is a rented trash can. So the city doesn't own that trash can. The waste management company owns that trash. And what then you do as a renter of that is you either schedule that, hey, I want you to come every Thursday, or you call them on demand when you filled it up. Yeah, we can see the two Scientologists are down here. You can see the back of the gold vest and the tall girl with the black hair, tall woman with the black hair. So they're just having coffee at lunchtime. Yesterday, we did see flyers out in the morning hours. I can see two people at the top of the street also in their gold vests. I don't know if I can poke you out that far or not. Let's see here. Yeah, you can see the two gold vests. They just took the right-hand turn. I'll see if I can get across the street. So they're crossing the street up there. I'll go over to Dearborn, see if we can create a path crossing. I'm gonna shrink the view a little bit. So right now we're at Half Sour on Polk Street. Most of the businesses on this street, on the day of the grand opening, they did close. Scientology did give them money to close, anywhere from single-digit thousands up to $20,000. And that was mostly just to pay for lost revenue. Now, I would say that was a smart move for 100% of the businesses. And the reason being that if the street was closed down and the police weren't letting people enter onto the street, there'd be no value to leaving your restaurant open. So your protest would be hollow and expensive, right? You would have paid for your staff, you would have paid for your utilities beyond that whole day, but at the end of the day, you'd have had no access to customers because customers would have had no access to you. Folks, if you're not, make sure that you're subscribed to MD Media. MD Media is very good at broadcasting other lives, helping share news around the SP community. Always appreciated. Howdy, Marina. Marina, where's your butterfly? Now, I didn't see the two staff members turn on to Dearborn, so I'm not sure where they would have headed out to. All right, we're kind of heading down Dearborn, not really seeing much going on here. We have closed up. We have closed up their retail space, so the blinds are down. It's an unappealing sight for people who are walking by. Nobody who is curious is going to venture into a building that can't even open up its blinds. Now, I'm going to say that, and we're going to see somebody in public clothing walk in. Most likely, that actually is a public Scientologist heading in to go on course or take a purification rundown, something of that nature. As I mentioned at the top, I did have a pretty tight schedule today. I don't think that I'll be able to come out this afternoon. I do plan on doing a speed run of this past weekend, as well as yesterday. So this evening, if you are subscribed, make sure you've got the notification on. This evening we are going to go through that. Probably around 7 p.m. Central Time. We're definitely not seeing anybody out here. Again, that doesn't mean that there isn't anybody out body routing. It's very common, right, that they'll try to get people outside of this zone. I don't think that they knew I was coming over. Remember, I did not schedule this. I just went live. Even though I did go live, as you saw at the top of this stream, the person who sits at the desk, who is basically the reception person for anybody walking in off the street who's curious, was totally unaware that I was there, right? So it's just, again, that idea that a person who is not in OSA or not in LA is not able to watch this stream or any other stream, right? So my stream's not special. Howdy, Shell. Yeah, I don't mean to inflate myself by saying my stream is different than anybody else's. They can't watch any of these streams, which makes it very difficult for them. Now, I do think that there are people that are OSA based or members of OSA, but they reside at this organization or are staffed in this organization, and they probably do watch the streams. My expectation is all the streams are being watched rather regularly and being recorded, so they can TiVo them and bring them, recall them if they need to. Sorry, a lot of activity here, and I just kind of wanted to pay attention as I was crossing the street. Now, one thing that they will do is, or that I would not find strange, is if I'm out and about and I'm following a body router, they might text the body router to give them information. but they're going to struggle the same way I do. Like if I'm trying to, I remember the time I tried to help Nance get back to her car after the concert, and there's a 20-second lag. So every time you'd say turn right, they might have already made a turn, and 20 seconds later they get the turn right and they would turn right. So it's a bit of a challenge with that lag to be able to really direct anybody. Now they can say that, hey, he's still following you, or he's not still following you, which would be helpful to them. We get up here, I'll scroll through, see if we've got any questions. And then I've got to head back, prepare for a few meetings. Yeah, Jay, I can give you a little bit of an update on that. So we're back out in front of the org, right? Shades are still down. Okay, a little bit of update on Nance, and this is public knowledge. This is nothing, I know nothing privately or personally about this situation, but as she stated, that there was a Zoom call on August 5th, which was a court case, and at that court case, it was continued, but in addition to her no longer being able to come anywhere near this organization, she now can't use social media to talk about the Church of Scientology, which I believe is an incredibly abusive use of the power of the state's attorney. Because if we think about it, Nance is being accused of touching an individual. And again, accused of of touching an individual. She is not being accused of touching the Church of Scientology. So I don't understand why the Church of Scientology gets protection from her on social media because she is being accused of touching somebody, right? So if you want to go onto social media, if you want to say that, hey, you can't talk on social media about this person, that's fine. I do not understand how her lawyer, and again, I don't know anything about her lawyer, I don't know anything about this situation. I'm disappointed by the level of effort that the lawyer put in. My expectation is that she will start again, figuring out, does she have the right lawyer in this case? Her lawyer is, he's a highly credentialed and he's a well thought of attorney. What the concern is that is he too close to Joe Cicala? Because Joe Cicala talks to him rather frequently and talks to him like they're buddies, right? The incident that we're talking about is Chadwick Burke came out here to try to wipe off some chalk that was out here. Now at that time, the Paisan's Pizzas didn't have their tables out here yet, so we wouldn't have seen all of this table structure here yet, but there was chalk that would have been over here. And Nance was like, well, you can go and erase the chalk in front of your building, but this isn't in front of your building. So she stood on the sidewalk, and in my opinion, Chadwick walked into her. So he was the one that created the aggression. He was the one that had a stick. He was the one that had a bucket. He had the tools that could be recognized as weapons. But again, that Joe Cicala is also a well thought of attorney here in Chicago. He has tentacles in many elements, both the investment vehicles that he's done, as well as anything else. Yeah, Amy, I agree with that. I would have loved if Streets' lawyer could have been here. Now, because one of the things is, where's the discovery, right? Why don't we have, and I do know this, the Chicago police haven't fulfilled their end of the discovery bargain yet, and Scientology has not either. So, Cher, I do think that that's most likely going to happen. It's just not a good idea to do that while you're in the midst of this. Are you okay that women can't report sexual abuses against them in this cult? Are you allowed to talk about this, church? That's what makes it a cult. And folks, I do use that line an awful lot, and it's one that I just feel more practiced on, so I'm more comfortable getting it out in a short amount of time, right? So how much time did I really have to interact with that person? Sorry. But yeah, again, I have no internal knowledge. I will say that it's always in your best interest to fight battles on one front at a time. And the front that she's got right now is the criminal case that's before her. That doesn't mean that she's not going to also do a civil case, right? And I have no understanding if she is or isn't, but she's not precluded from doing a civil. Yeah, MD Media, that's really what you would see that a lot. That in any other, in any reasonable circumstance, this would have been thrown out immediately and it would have been incidental contact. At worst, it would have been incidental contact, right? The idea that I made my breast attack him, right? Like, what kind of powers do they think that she has over this? So here's our friend who drops her daughter off. Anything positive to share about the church? How are the doubt stats coming along? So that's the gentleman who, on several weekends, and I was going through the early video, he'll drop his daughter off here. He'll drop his daughter off and then he'll leave. He won't hand his daughter off to somebody else. He just opens the front door, lets his daughter go in, and then he leaves, right? So how effective of a parent is he in that space? We're getting a little bit more traffic on the street, so I just want to give them some grace. Yes, you should all listen to Lady E. Now we're getting, the women are coming back from lunch, right? That we're out having their coffee in the next block down. One of them walked into Urban Pantry, grab a quick snack. I don't know what that person's name is, by the way. If there is anybody that does recognize these people, please reach out to me, windycitythetanwatch@gmail.com. Did you notice that she was not on the phone until she saw me, and now that she sees me, she's on the phone? Anything positive to share about your church? Are you okay that women can't report sexual abuses against them if you're reported by somebody in this church? What I have to imagine is that, these aren't people with no brain cells, and they probably sit through a meeting once a month that, okay, folks, here's the plan. What we're going to do is whenever you see the bald, stupid guy out there, you'll want to turn your phone on really quickly and then pretend that you're on the phone and just walk past him. Now, this is definitely somebody who I would like to try and figure out who this might be. Should women be allowed to report crimes to the police? Doesn't that seem reasonable? If you were abused, wouldn't you want to be able to report to the police? Again, the cult doesn't want to allow their members to report things to the police. Howdy, Ricky. Welcome back. Z News, you've got other skills and talents that are very helpful to the community. If you're unaware, Z News is the technology nerd, and I say nerd in the nicest way possible. She is the technology nerd behind SPTV.space. So she's the one that helps you understand who's live and who's not live at any point in time. Fuzzy Squirrel UK. No, that doesn't sound right. Yeah. Fuzzy Squirrel UK manages the list of creators. If you are a creator and you want to be listed on SPTV.space, you, as the creator, must contact the SPTV.space team. If we could, I don't remember, but I think that they've got, I think it's support at SPTV.space, which is the email address. But you have to take responsibility and you have to say, I'm raising my hand that I want to be listed. And then we've got Brigitte, who is helping. She's a polyglot. She understands several languages. Oh look, somebody's taking motorcycle lessons there on TV. So that must be Davey showing people what it's like to have a motorcycle, right? We've also got Scientology Geek, who has been putting the vast majority of Scientology teachings into ChatGPT. Skyrider 140, who has done the Wikipedia. So things like, we just talked about Boobgate recently. Well, Boobgate is something you'd be able to find on SPTV's Wikipedia space, SPTV.space Wikipedia. I'm so proud that I can say polyglot. I do.
Like every day.
Yeah. If you can do me one favor.
Yeah, what's up?
Let me, I'll give you a card real quick.
I'm like, man, you're dedicated.
I don't like child abuse and I don't like human trafficking.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah. So people, they don't believe in mental ability or mental health. So psychiatrists, psychiatry, psychiatric medications, they won't allow you to take that. One of the people on there, Lisa McPherson, she died. She had a car accident. She was out on the street. The EMTs could tell she was a little bit, she had some struggling to get to the hospital for a 5150. Scientology came, brought her out of there, locked her up in a room, bound her hands. 17 days later, she went into crisis, and before they get her back to the hospital, she was DOA. Danny Masterson, right? So you know Danny Masterson from That 70s Show?
Yeah.
He's the actor. He's in jail right now for 30 years to life.
Oh, yeah.
He sexually abused 3 of their members. When the members went to the police and reported it, they got excommunicated. Danny Masterson is still a member in good standing. That's why I'm here.
Sounds like just cause to me, brother. Keep it up.
Thank you. All right, folks, where was I? Oh, sorry, thank you. Amy, you said that yesterday. And by the way, I'm guessing about 27 more times I'm going to say 5150, and you're going to have to remind me it's the Baker Act that did it. Yeah, MD Media, I think that's a great thing. I love that Eric does that quite a bit. Yeah, I think Louise is kind of the new Shelley Miscavige. She probably has a title similar to assistant to the chairman of the board, or assistant or co-CLB, or chairman CLB, not co-CLB, chairman CLB. I'm sorry, assistant CLB. And yeah, right, that most likely there is a relationship going on there. Quite honestly, don't really care about that. It's just the idea that it's the, that when you try to take the moral high ground, you should be on the moral high ground. And in that situation, Miscavige is not on the moral high ground in order to talk about people who are out 2D in this space, right? All right. Before the two gentlemen asked me that question, we were probably talking about something. Oh, SPTV.space, right? There's a lot of additional value on SPTV space besides the creators. Now, I will say that it's very important that we look at the creators, and if you're looking for a creator, I would maybe start in Chicago at the bottom of the list alphabetically. But that is one really nice element, but the idea that you can get all kinds of like LRH media, the transcripts to speeches, images, information that you can use to help your school boards, your community boards understand what the dangers of allowing this cult to be in your realm would be. right? As I just mentioned to the two guys that walked by, right? That I don't care about their beliefs. It's the idea that they do crimes and abuses of other people, right? Sure, I hear you. And I will tell you that if you were in a crowd, it wouldn't be there. So one thing that I'll say there, right, there were only two people on the sidewalk, maybe three, but in reality, two people. And there were paths to have not been bumping into one another. But we just had Lollapalooza here, right? And we just had the Air and Water Show. And if you tuned into either channel, you would have seen there were massive amounts of people out there. And with those massive amounts of people out there, I don't recognize this person. So with those massive amounts of people out there, that yeah, people did bump into one another. But were the police called? Probably not, right? I don't remember seeing anything on the scanners about trouble that was happening there. Now, I will say that if you accidentally bump into somebody, you know, we have common courtesy usually in most places in the world, and depending on your language, but you're saying, you know, please, thank you, I'm sorry, in these spaces, or excuse me. So I don't think it's, you know, sometimes those things get out of hand because somebody takes umbrage to the idea that they were bumped. Typically, the incidents are never started intentionally. See, that doesn't seem to be confront and shatter. That seems avoid and scatter. Is avoid and scatter the new LRH policy? Are you okay that women can't report sexual abuses against them in this church? LRH said the best way to control people is to lie to them. Are you the one being lied to, or are you the one lying to others? Notice that she had the blue vest on, so she is more of a recent implant, right? The original uniform that was here in Chicago was gold. I cannot tell you if they're transitioning to blue or not transitioning to blue, but that person is somebody who I wouldn't have seen a month and a half ago. I'm now seeing rather frequently. So is there a new round of, and again, I'm saying it might be Sea Org members that are being transplanted here. It could also be members, staff members from other places in Scientology. All right, folks, I've got a meeting at the top of the hour. I will let you know again that I'm probably going to do a speed run this evening. We had a few interactions here today. Again, all we saw was that Scientologists can't leverage their communication. So communication being the universal solvent, the cat has all of their tongues right now. We were able to get the blinds down. It took a little bit longer than normal, but I'm going to say that, again, that leads into the idea that the person at the front desk is very unlikely that they're watching my channel. Now, what they should have seen is they can see those cameras that are out front, so they should have seen howdy, folks. Welcome in. Let me see, I saw a comment here. Yeah, Marissa, there are times where I think fast and there's other times where I don't. I will tell you that when I see young children go into the org, I stammer. I forget to say, right, that children can't consent, and I forget to do that because I'm so gobsmacked by the idea that somebody would bring their child in there. Now, again, my hope is that those people don't realize some of the information that we realize in this space. So, folks, if you've just joined in, sorry, I'm heading back to a meeting. So, yeah, I would say that unless there was something egregious in the message, I'm surprised that the message would have been removed. I will say, I tend not to worry so much about things that are happening on other channels, or if you're recalling an action that happened on another channel, as long as they're not personal attacks, or if you're talking about the personalities of other channels, those are things that we tend to try and stay away from. So I didn't see the comment in that space. We came to the org earlier than usual. I kind of wanted to surprise them a little bit. I wanted to see if we could find anybody body routing. And I am going to go up into the central business district, which is, I'll cross this street. So this, if you're new to the channel, this is the immigration courthouse, right? And to me, this is a very dangerous place because these are people who are trying to get a visa, trying to get a green card, trying to get permanent residence. They're taking their first steps in America. They're overwhelmed by everything that's going on, and Scientology is going to come up to them and say, hey, you want to take a personality test? Hey, you want to be helpful, you want to save the world? And some of these people are going to fall prey to that, right? So I do always worry that this is here. I worry about the colleges being here that we've got going on. So. Oh, we weren't being raided. I see we were raiding somebody else. Howdy, Belfast. Top of the morning to you. Although it's got to be late in the day for you guys now. Well, late in the evening, I guess. All right, we'll walk up to Van Buren or Jackson just to see if we can find anybody out here in uniform. He was not yelling to me. Folks, if you aren't subscribed, please do subscribe. And I think that we are heading over to another room. Let them know Wendy sent you. Let them know Wendy will be there very quickly. I will put my gear away and get my headphones on as I head back to my meeting. I won't be able to stay very long.
Car looks like brand new.
Yeah, you know what? It's like a fourth car.
Just got a Maserati pull up on us. All right, we're going to Escaping the Cultiverse. Tell them we said hi. Folks, I'm going to leave it there. I will say, please make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've got the notifications on. We're going to do a speed run this evening. Thank you all.